Hello, and thank you for joining us on CN Live. I'm Colion Noir, and we've got a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to have some fun with trick shot artist 22Plinkster, and there's a new movie taking aim at gun rights, so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to get a sneak preview of some rifles coming from Legacy Sports International. But first, our first guest has earned himself a tremendous online following thanks to his outrageous trick shots. Let's take a look. I'm very excited to be joined by 22Plinkster. What's going on, Plank?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. First, I just want to clear the air about something. So, not too long ago, I challenged you to a one-on-one game. I don't want to ruin your name, so that's why I want to go ahead and clear the air on this one. I challenged you to a one-on-one game of basketball this year at SHOT Show. Little did I know you're a cripple now.
Yes, I messed my knee up some way, shape, or form. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah.
It just really started hurting the other night after I played ball. I had to go to the doctor and got an MRI scheduled for this weekend, and it's looking like surgery. But that's just part of getting old, man. It's going to happen, and it's actually the best thing that could happen to you is me get hurt.
How? Why?
Because then you wouldn't have to play me and get embarrassed.
I walked right into that one, I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't see that coming at all. But man, see, and now what I'm thinking about doing, and I'm just gonna toss this out there, I'm thinking about possibly doing something at the NRA show where it's kind of more of like a 5-on-5, two-way community celebrity basketball game for a good cause. I don't know, just something swirling around in my head. I don't know if you'll still be a cripple at that point. I hope you're not. Because I would love to embarrass you, and you can't use the excuse that I hurt my knee and all this other nonsense.
I'll be healed up by then, so okay. You just start practicing now.
All right, we'll get your squad. I'll get my squad, and then we can just all squad up together on the basketball court.
That sounds like fun, man. I'll do it.
All right. So, man, for the people who don't know you, and then for the people who do know you but just don't know your backstory, how did you get into trick shooting?
Well, it's kind of funny. I grew up shooting. I've been shooting ever since I was 5 years old. My dad retired military. So, guns were always in the house. They wwere just in every corner on top of the refrigerator. They were just, I looked at a firearm like you would look at a hammer. You just, gotcha. That's just how I was raised. And so my dad had me shooting at an early age, and my dad's a very good shot. He qualified expert in rifle and pistol in the military. And he always told me, hey, son, you're a pretty good shooter. You're a pretty good shooter. And, I really didn't have anything to compare it to. And as I got older, I started shooting with some of my friends, and I noticed I always outshot them, but I didn't know if they were good or if they were bad or whatever have you. But, how the whole channel started was, the show Top Shot? Yeah. That was on several years ago. Uh-huh. My friend Dustin Ellerman won Top Shot. And I didn't know Dustin Ellerman at the time, but me and my friend was talking about, my friend and I, we were talking about Dustin hitting the golf ball at 100 yards with a 22 rifle. And so my friend who was stationed in the Navy in Florida said that, you couldn't do it. And I said, well, when I get home, I won't do it with a rifle. I'll do it with the pistol. I'll hit a golf ball with a pistol. And so I made the video, uploaded it to YouTube. I had to create a username. I don't know how in the world I came up with 22Plinkster. Yeah. But uploaded to YouTube, shared it, sent him the text, the link. And, he watched it. We laughed about it, talked about it. That's all I wanted YouTube for. That's all I wanted YouTube for. And then people started asking me, can I do this? Can I do that? And before I knew it, I was making 2 or 3 videos a week of just some random, trick shooting stuff. So that's kind of how it started with me.
People underestimate how organic a lot of the YouTubers in the community got their start.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I look at different YouTubers. I look at the bigger names, Hickok 45, None Fancy, all those guys. And I wonder myself, man, how did their channel come about? Because I get that question all the time. Like, why did you start your channel? Like, where'd you get the name from? I was like, I was just trying to start a YouTube channel. There was no like secret strategy behind it where I kind of had this master plan of everything coming together. I was just like, I want to start a channel, I want to start reviewing guns in the way that I saw them. And it just kind of took on a life of its own. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, it's funny. You know, a lot of my friends started off the same way. You know, mine is 100% by accident. I was in YouTube for a year before I even knew that you could, make money doing it. I was just some redneck with a gun out there, some playing cards, and somebody said, "You know that you can make money doing this?" I'm like, "No." And here I am 5 years later. I actually uploaded my first video 3 days ago. It was exactly 5 years.
Yeah.
And now, for a year now, I've been doing it full time. So, and loving every minute of it.
That's freaking amazing, man. And it's like, even for somebody who's doing the same thing you're doing, I look at other people and see the stuff that they're able to do with their channels, and I'm like, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And like, you ever thought about where the community would be without YouTube? Now, I know we give YouTube a hard time because they give us a hard time in a lot of ways. But you ever thought about where our community would be without it?
Well, I think people would be buying a lot more junky guns.
True.
For one thing. But, that's one good thing I like about YouTube is that we all have a voice and we all have an opinion. No matter if you're a big channel, whether you're a small channel, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because there's some smaller channels that they know a tremendous amount about guns. And, we need the small channels. We need the big channels. But I don't think, I would be stuck, looking at magazines, and nothing that's wrong with printed media. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But we live in an ADHD society that if I want to know something, I want to pick up my smartphone, I want to Google it and watch somebody's, opinion on it right then and there. I don't want to have to go to the newsstand or wait for my monthly magazine to come in the mail to be able to know my opinion or their opinion on it.
No, absolutely, man. I always say my channel, especially when it comes to my gun reviews, my channel, I look in my mind, serves as a gateway drug. I look at it from a standpoint of somebody who's not really into firearms yet or getting into it at the very, very beginning stages of it will come across a channel like mine and then continue down the line, follow the rabbit all the way into the hole to the point where they're watching videos from people who may not even have that many subscribers but know all of they have a vast amount of knowledge about firearms, and before they know it, they look up, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and they realize they've just been watching YouTube videos all night.
Yes.
So I go ahead.
It's addicting, man. I'll do that. I'll start watching, one of your videos. I know you're a big H&K guy, and you and I both are H&K guys. 5 or 6 of them. I love my H&Ks.
Yeah.
But. I want to, before I purchase a firearm, because I do purchase some firearms. I bought 2 or 3 last month, and not everything that I have on my channel is given to me or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's not like that at all. But I want to know other people's opinion. And you start watching it, and it was like, well, maybe this guy was wrong. Let me look at this other opinion. And then when you can put both of them together, they come to the same conclusion. Well, I may need to stay away from that firearm, or hey, I may want to pick it up.
Yeah.
So.
And then we all have our particular bias too. So, I can watch one video, then backdoor and watch another video, then watch another video with different perspectives. And then usually when you start comparing and contrasting to, you tend to know where people's bias lies. So you know where it begins and stops, and then know what to keep, what to throw out, and so forth and so on. And you're right. Like, I'm the same way. Like, people think that I'm gifted guns every 10 seconds. I wish I was, because, I probably would not be wasting as much money as I do now on firearms.
Yes.
But I still buy guns, so I want to hear, especially like, for instance, if I do want to get into 22s, for instance, I'm going to look to a channel like yours to gain some insight from that, just because of the experience that you have with it. So from that perspective, really quick before we go to a quick break, where do you usually get your ideas for doing the shots and trick shots that you do?
Well, man, for a long time, I worked for ADT Security for 18 years. That's where I worked before I started shooting full time. And I covered 9 counties. I drove 300 miles every day of my life. Okay. And so I would turn the radio down, and I have ADD, and my mind just goes a million miles a minute. I'm like, what if I could do this? Or what if I can do this? And so I start writing stuff down in my work vehicle. And then I can know real quick when I get on the range, I'm like, well, I think I'm pressing my luck a little bit too far. I think this is actually possible. Let's roll with it. So that's usually, probably, I've come up with probably about 90% of my trick shot ideas, and the other 10% come from viewers, because some viewers want me to shoot a penny at 500 yards over my shoulder on one leg and all this stuff. And that's, I can't do that, I promise you.
Come on, man. You're supposed to be 22 Jesus.
Never heard that one. I've been called
Put it on a shirt. But no, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to continue speaking with 22 Plinkster and get into some other issues.